Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of NASCAR Heat 5 2023 mod career mode, our fifth and final season. We're looking at the NASCAR Xfinity Series race results here from Kansas Speedway, where it was Lane Riggs picking up his third career win to punch his ticket to the championship four, holding off Parker Kligerman in second, William Sawalich in third. How about Brendan Poole in fourth? Daniel Hemrick is at the top five, then Corey Day, Raja Caruth, Brandon Jones, Ryan Truex, Tanner Gray, the top 10. Other playoff drivers, Alfredo in 11th, Honeycutt in 15th. So not the guy runs those guys are looking for, and another DNF for the ever inconsistent Sammy Smith. But congrats to Lane Riggs on the huge win in his rookie Xfinity Series season. He's going to the championship four as you see the playoff grid. Las Vegas and Martinsville remain for the Xfinity drivers. Sawalich with a comfortable points gap, and then Caruth at 18 to the good. Daniel Hemrick on the bubble, 15 points above Corey Day, and then Alfredo, Ryan Truex, and Honeycutt already in virtual must-win scenarios at 25, 29, and 36 below the cut respectively, heading to Las Vegas. We'll see what will happen in Sin City next episode. Going to be a good one, that's for sure. But Lane Riggs is on to the championship four. And in the background, you're practicing and qualifying for today's main event, NASCAR Cup Series Hollywood Casino 400. Presented by ESPN Bet here in Kansas Speedway, where it is the opener of the round of 8 as we were trying to punch our ticket to the championship four for the fifth season in a row. Mayer Gilliland have some fast cars today, and Tyler Reddick puts it on pole position in the number 45. One race after being eliminated from the chase, of course, after Bristol. Too inconsistent in that first round, just bit him. And we start this race from 20th with number 2 Powerade Ford as we are green and underway here in the heartland at Kansas Speedway. Will someone be punching their ticket to the championship four here today? We will find out, as someone has done that each of the last 2 seasons. As you remember, last season I believe it was Chase Elliott winning this race to go to the championship four, and what a huge win that was for Chase. Now here we are on the outside of Chase Briscoe and Corey Heim. We're going to be to 18th place now, crossed over to the inside of the 34 of Todd Gilliland to get into 17th, now chasing down Shane Van Gisbergen with a 16th. And how about a great qualifying effort from Ty Dillon, qualifying up here in the top 15 here in Kansas. We are giving him a huge push down through 3 and 4. Then we swing instantly to the inside of the RCR driver and catch up to his teammate of Austin Hill in that number 3 Chevrolet. Of course, Bennett Transportation sponsored for Richard Childress. We'll go by him for 14th. Now closing in on our teammate Ryan Blaney, the first chase driver we have seen here today underneath Blaney. He's trying to get by Daniel Suarez here in 12th. That's 7 for Spire Motorsports. Has been very on and off this season, obviously. Very uncertain the future for Suarez here as we go underneath Ryan Blaney and take 12th position away. Now setting our sights on Josh Berry for 11th, and then Justin Haley to get into the top 10. A tremendous rally to start this race, already up into the top 10, up 10 positions from the drop of the green flag. We are absolutely flying through this field early here in Kansas. Then we go a little bit too hard into turn 1 and 2, give up the bottom, and here comes Ryan Blaney. Our teammate surges on into 10th place. We have to settle down into 11th behind Blaney for a few laps. Then we're trying to hold off Hocevar and William Byron. Then we just get too high on the track here as our tires start to wear and the grip starts to go away, and we lose a lot of that rear grip in the car, and the handling just is completely gone, and we really struggle with that as we've had so many races here. We have it at Kansas, really haven't improved. Byron, Zilich, Hocevar, others have gone by. We've now slipped down to 14th when the caution comes out here midway through stage 1 because Sam Mayer blows a tire in the 47. He will still be in this race, but the caution, alas, comes out. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin up there leading this race as we restart here in 14th, trying to get to the outside of Larson and Zilich here, but just nowhere to go. And we are just trying to now get to the outside. Larson for 13th, trying to get to the outside of Connor Zilich here into turn 3. We go too high, bounce off the wall a little bit, but we're able to keep some good momentum that we chase on exit down. We get stuck behind William Byron, so we just have to push the 24. We just have nowhere to go right now with this run. Just struggling to make some passes back here. But how about Connor Zilich, man? He's been so impressive in the races since being eliminated from championship contention. He's been top 15 almost every week. Now here we are inside of Chris Buescher and William Byron, 3 wide, almost 4 wide down the backstretch, making an aggressive move to 11th. We even force our way underneath Zilich's Honda Civic for Trackhouse Racing. That will get us up into the top 10 if we can hang on, battling Byron right here in front of us as Hamlin tries to drive in position to win the stage and find himself into the championship four possibly for the final time in his final full-time season competition. What a story that would be if Hamlin could pull off the win here today. 5 to go on stage 1. We dive underneath seatbelt for 9th and completely overdrive the corner. Big mistake right there. We slide up the track, and now Bubba driving away in 8th. Bell and I now side drafting down the back for 9th. Byron giving us a push here into turn 3 as we try to work our way forwards. And now we just get too high at the track. Byron not giving us the right push. And here comes Chris Buescher back to the inside. This 17 continuing to put up a fight here as we battle for 9th place here. Christopher Bell still in the picture. Myself, Byron, many others, but our handling now. We got to that crossover point in the run where we are now starting to be the one struggling, not the one on the charge. And obviously that is hurting us now as we drop behind Buescher and Bell. Byron got to our almost got to our outside right there as we try to hang on to a top 10 position. Just 2 to go in stage 1, man. We are pushing as hard as we can. We know stage points are so vital in this round of 8 if you want to make the championship 4. We bounce off the wall with Byron into Bowman, and we slam the wall again back down the track. There goes the 40 of Allgaier into us, and we're spinning and crashing behind us. There goes Justin Allgaier. We go spinning down to the grass here in turn 3, and a catastrophic mistake for us in the round of 8 opener is going to cost us stage points as we go crashing with Justin Allgaier. As William Byron is pushing us a little bit too hard through turn 2, causes a big incident for Allgaier. We go spinning through the grass and end up 19th in stage 1, which will go to Denny Hamlin over Ryan Blaney in 2nd, Ty Gibbs, Carson Hocevar, and Tyler Reddick in the top 5. Chase Elliott earns 5 points, and C. Bell does earn that final stage point, snagging one very crucial point that he may come to need here as we come down the stretch. Now on the restart, we get the restart glitch here once again for crashing under that yellow. So from 22nd, we're just going to be absolutely dropping like a stone through the field here as everyone just goes on by us. You know, just really can't wait till we get to NASCAR 25. We don't have to deal with this glitch anymore. That would be amazing here as we get to the outside of the 51 of Sheldon Creed for 23rd position, just trying to salvage whatever we can here, get some track position back. As stage 1, absolute unmitigated disaster for us here in our Team Penske Ford, and we have some work to do if we want to find ourselves in a better position going into Las Vegas next episode to try to make this championship 4. As now we get to the outside of Todd Gilliland and Michael McDowell, 3 wide, huge run into 19th, swing to the inside of Kyle Larson, who is uncharacteristically struggling here at one of his best racetracks here in Kansas. Larson running 19th, as here we are now going 3 wide, absolute slide job on Ross Chastain. We end up door slamming Chris Buescher, but that gets us into 16th as we have been able to go absolutely nowhere since this restart out to the inside. Now Buescher going to squeeze us up at the outside wall. I don't appreciate that too much, and he's once again, Buescher being over aggressive with the pushes, so I'm quite frustrated with that here as Todd Gilliland goes by into 16. Now Buescher goes to the inside. I try to throw an absolute heinous block attempt, and we go full send into turn 2, body slam poor Todd Gilliland, who did nothing wrong. He gets absolutely body slammed into the wall because of the frustration boiling over between Buescher and I, and the caution comes out the ensuing lap because Austin Hill blows a tire into turn 3, goes crashing into the outside wall, down the track, gets collected right there by Cole Custer, and Austin Hill will drop to the rear, but still no one out of the race. So now we play the only strategy card we can here, playing for 4 tires and fuel, but a lot of contenders at the front joining us here on this strategy. Eric Jones, Shane Van Gisbergen, Wallace, Bowman, hosts of our Byron, Hamlin, also all on this strategy here as we slam into Byron here. There's a huge stack up in turn 3. Everyone trying to get by Riley Herbst, the 35, just absolutely dropping like a rock right now. We'll go by him. Now to the inside of Ty Gibbs, swing to the inside of William Byron. That's a move that we needed to make here, but remember the top 3 cars here in our strategy are right in front of us. Hamlin, Blaney, and Chase Elliott. They're the top 3 on the same strategy. So we shove Hamlin wide, pin him behind Cindric. Now we're into 24th position, back in the top 25. Big run down the back straightaway. Huge move to the inside of Blaney, who gets stuck behind our Alliance teammate of Josh Berry over at the Wood Brothers. We squeeze him up the track into Suarez. He gets absolutely sideways, lose a ton of spots. Now we're into 21st, trying to hold off Blaney. Huge run here in the 38 of Zane Smith, who cannot defend that. And we are back into the top 20, slowly trying to claw positions back and find our way. Hopefully luck into some stage points here as we dive bomb Jesse Love into turn 1, and we just go right on through him into 19th. And continuing our march forwards, now to the back of Sam Mayer, who's come back from that blown tire quite nicely in the top 20. We'll go by him. Nemechek now trying to work by Sheldon Creed to get into position number 16 in that Rick Ware Racing Ford, who has been, you know, obviously disappointing this season, but still had some decent runs here, but a lot of bad runs throughout the year. So we go by him for 16th. Now the inside of McDowell, of course, if you remember back to Canada, that controversial finish between he and I, he's not racing us any nicer than, obviously, we deserve to be raced after the way we treated him in that race. 40 going stage, and we're trying to block Carson Hocevar, and I should know better at this point to not block Carson Hocevar, especially in the 77. He don't care. He'll drive right on through us and zoom on by, and we are continuing to fight McDowell for 16th a few laps later. just struggling right now to really go anywhere. As Larson gets back on us now, a whole wave of cars come down pit road. Is now the brilliant part of our strategy comes into our favor. Chase Elliott, by the way, is leading this race. Now here we are fighting Byron for 6th. Big contact with the 24. Door slamming into turn 1 and 2. I am trying not to give up these positions. I want these stage points so desperately. I don't want to give up anything. Hamlin shoving us into Byron. It's an absolute scrap right now for 5th on back for stage points. Larson looks like he's coming down to pit road here. I barely dodge running into him, which forces me to slide up into Byron. Byron gets smashed into the wall right there. That cost him some momentum, and now we get a huge run as Larson's out of gas. The 5 is running out of gas. There goes his shot at any point today. So now just like that, we're up to 3rd place. And in the last half of the stage, we're in a brilliant position to earn stage points. The strategy has worked absolutely perfectly, exactly the way we needed to. Elliott right now leading, Carson Hocevar 2nd. We're going to squeeze William Byron here in turn 2. Really not wanting to give up this 3rd spot and these 8 points. I want to hold on to him so badly. Hamlin, Wallace applying pressure, so I decided to go low and put the block on Hamlin, which means I have to give the top to Byron, who will drive on by into 3rd. But now we are in a 3-wide situation with Wallace and Hamlin. Contact coming across the line. We barely edge out 4th to bring home a much-needed 7 stage points to make something out of the day here. But Chase Elliott picks up his first stage win of the season here in Kansas over Hocevar, Byron, myself, and Bubba Wallace. Denny Hamlin, Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Ty Gibbs, and how about SVG snagging that final stage point? So here we are on the 3rd and final stage of racing here in Kansas, where we're going to crown ourselves a winner, and someone could possibly be going to the championship 4, as we are continuing to scrap with Denny Hamlin for 7th, as the strategy really gets unique here, as I believe Chase Briscoe and Christopher Bell stayed out on the racetrack as they pitted right before the stage and yellow, so they were able to get that track position. There's Chase Elliott, Hocevar, myself. I'm going to go aggressive 3 wide at the bottom for 3rd place. I want to try to get everything that I can here down the front stretch, but can Chase Elliott win his way into the Final 4 again at Kansas for the 2nd year in a row? He's made a career out of doing this. He could possibly do it one more time. He's driving into the lead. We force it underneath Chase Briscoe. 3 wide for 2nd with Briscoe and Byron. 22 to go. Some intense racing here in Kansas. More contact with the 24 right there, but he sends us up the racetrack, and here comes Hocevar and everybody on the bottom line as our tires feeling the wear and just not having the speed in our Penske Ford today. We are really feeling that here as I'm giving it my all, but it's just not enough to get where we need to go to be in position to win this race. So we're going to have to find some kind of creative strategy to make this work as we continue to battle with Ty Gibbs for 4th here. He's having a very strong run. Shout out to Ty Gibbs. I mean, he's had a miserable season in the 54 car. A huge slump after last season, making it all the way to the round of 8 with multiple wins. This season winless, but he's looking to have a good top 5 run going here today. Hamlin drives on by us as well. So now down to 6, and the caution comes out with 21 to go for Riley Herbst. Or not Riley Herbst, that's Corey Heim with an engine issue. So now that does change things. We decided to bring it down pit road. Restart back in 21st here alongside Zilich, who is 1 lap down. So we're the only car that pitted, trying to play, the strategy. I think the only one that'll give us a shot at the victory is playing 2 tires and fuel here, and that's going to be the move. I'm hoping to get us a better finish than like 8th. So now we're on the outside of Christian Eckes and Zane Smith. A huge run out of turn 4, ripping that outside lane on the restart. And just like that, out in no time, we are up 5 positions, up into 16th at the end of the first lap of this restart. 16 to go. Now charging by Michael McDowell, who we've raced around quite a bit today, charging our way back through the field. Now SVG once again, quick work of him into 14th. And look at this brilliant squeeze to the outside, forcing Larson and Haley 3 wide. And that will allow us to drive into 12th position and set our sights on the Legacy Motor Club Toyota of Eric Jones in the 43, having another strong run here today for that team. And now we're going to get a big run in the 43, swing to the inside, take 11th away, 15 to go. Can we get in the top 10? Chase Elliott. Meanwhile, leading the problem is the 20 of Christopher Bell with an engine failure. Huge playoff implications for the 20, and all of a sudden his championship hopes have gone up in smoke. Christopher Bell is going to be out of this race with an engine failure, and all of a sudden Bell, who's been so consistent all year, is going to be in a must-win situation going into Las Vegas and Martinsville the next 2 episodes. If he wants to make it to the championship round, he is in big, big trouble. So now 13 to go. No caution, by the way. We stayed green. I'm still trying to battle Bubba Wallace for 7th on the racetrack. He and Chase Briscoe here as we go through turns 1 and 2 to try and salvage whatever I can here with the little advantage I have left on my tires, which I've used up quite a bit charging through the field. Briscoe gives us a big push here into turn 3. I try to use this outside middle lane here. We slide up in front of the 23, but then Chase Briscoe uses the crossover. And a few laps later, we're just continuing to battle these three wide, by the way, and it's a big squeeze. And we just really don't have the pace to really compete with these guys on the long run here with our tires completely gone. Makes some counter the 23. Big slide from Bubba. We save him from wrecking as a caution completely ruins any hope of our strategy working out here. So we cannot afford that. It feels there. Bubba and the leaders are in for pit stops. We jump up to 5th in the running order. In the ensuing lap, in comes the rest of the top 5. Briscoe, Bowman, Elliott, Byron are in, and now we will lead our first lap of the day here in Kansas with 7 laps to go. In the ensuing lap, we come in for our 2-tire stop here. Our Hail Mary, this is really what it is, a Hail Mary call here to try to get a top 5 finish. So we're hoping if this can work out for us here. 8.4 seconds, clean stop by the pit crew. Can't ask for much more right there. Good execution on those guys. We come out right now currently the leader, and there goes Hamlin, there goes Blaney, there goes Gibbs, and we come out currently in 4th, but it's a heck of a lot better than where we were. So right now the strategy's worked out pretty good as we throw a huge block on Hocevar, get his push down the back straightaway here to try to maintain as much time as possible. He swings to the inside of us the ensuing lap in turn 1. The caution comes out on the racetrack, and this changes everything. And now we have a 2 to go in regulation finish here in Kansas. We are here in 22nd as I had to pit for 4 tires and fuel. As on 2 old tires, we'd have been absolutely eaten alive by the pack. So this is really the only card I could have played. By the way, new leader Denny Hamlin trying to get his first win of his final season of his career here, and what a win it would be. To punch his ticket to the championship 4, white flag waving, final lap presented by Credit One Bank here in Kansas for Denny Hamlin. We've surged into 13th now to the inside of Justin Haley. The goal right now is to get up into that top 10, get a top 10 finish here, going after Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe, Bowman, and others as we go complete dive bomb on the 5 here. Use up Larson a little bit into 12th. We go. Denny Hamlin now 2 more corners between himself and victory lane. Nobody within reach of that blue number 11. You can see off in the distance as we go through turn 4 for the final time. Denny Hamlin wins at Kansas. He's going to the championship 4 for the final time in his career, and we are going to steal 10th place right at the line to get a top 10 finish. Barely edging out Chase Briscoe, but Denny Hamlin, no better time to win than the first race of the round of 8 to transfer to the championship 4, and Hamlin gets one last Kansas win, and he will fight for a championship. Could this finally be the year? And then Ty Gibson second. Great effort from the young driver. Blaney, good points, staying third. Hocevar fourth. Byron, Elliott 5th and 6th. Elliott got to be disappointed. He was leading before that caution. We come home 10th. Got the finish we needed. Larson ends up 13th. Joey Logano 27th place. Just didn't have it today. And then C-Bell, that DNF engine failure, heartbreaking. 39th place. Huge blow to his title hopes going into Las Vegas, as he will have to find victory lane or he will be bounced. As here the chase for the Cup standings, Hamlin advanced with the victory. We still have a comfortable race and a half, 93-point cushion, so we are all but secured into that final round. William Byron is in third, 20 to the good, and then Blaney now on the cut line, 7 points above Chase Elliott. Larson now falling to out by 12. Logano, basically a virtual must-win, 2 out by 27. C-Bell, we already know he's got to win. 44 below the cut line. It's going to take a miracle for him to get to the championship 4 for the second year in a row. But huge win for Denny Hamlin here in Kansas in his final season to go to the Final 4. And as we conclude this episode, as always, I want to give a special shout-out to my channel members. Thank you so much to JJ, Brenda Breen, and Jeremy Isley. Really appreciate your guys' support. It means a ton to me. Help this channel and continue to grow, produce some awesome content. Now pushing towards 2,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you are watching this video or not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's completely free, only just a couple of seconds. I would really, really appreciate it. If you want to be like these three and get your shout out and become a paid channel member, link is in the description down below. So until the next episode from Sin City in Vegas, I hope you all have a good one.